Hey, it's the monkey brain sensei Hanu, history's worst teacher. Welcome to the first episode of my voice training arc. This was my secret project that I've been working on for the last 1 to 6 months now. Let it be known, first and foremost, I don't have a single talent bone in my body. So watch me struggle along with a few brave male VTubers or streamers as we take steps to love our voices and ourselves in the process. The goal isn't to become a voice actor or singer, okay? I saw all my guys, non-binary and trans bros, feel insecure about who they are and their vocal sounds. I can't let them fall, and I've been insanely driven, running myself into the ground to find anyone and everyone that has voice acting or singing experience that can help guide or coach us. The first episode will always be me and the voice actor or singer one-on-one. The second episode will be me and the brave group of individuals who are going to voice act or sing. I'll focus on female streamers and everyone in between in the future. Right now, I want to focus on my main demographic, my boys. My first guest for this series is VHSASHLEY. Their socials is in the description below, so check them out. Let's begin. What's your experience in voice acting?
So I started voice acting again in 2014. I did podcast audio dramas for a while. And then I got a chance to do some additional voices / Walla in a couple of animated dubs. And since then I've mainly worked in dubs, audio drama, maybe a video game or two.
Can you go into more detail about podcast voice audio dramas? Like, what's it about for somebody who may not know?
So they're kind of like radio plays back in, the olden days, where it's a story fully cast. There might be a narrator who narrates the action, and it's just like a play that's audio. It's pretty straightforward.
You mentioned something about Walla. What is that?
So it's a industry term, I think, that dates back when they were doing old stuff and you just have people in a crowd. Let me start again. So it's an industry term for crowd noise. So I think the term comes from, they used to just say walla, walla, walla back at each other. But typically when you have like a dub, you'll have to make like background crowd noise. So you'll have people like talk in incomplete sentences and try not to make anything that's noticeable, and they'll meld it together into, ambient noise.
Oh, that's interesting. I never heard about it before. And you participated, or you were used as a Walla, like background noise?
And one of the things that happens is they'll do that to test out new talent. To see if you freeze or, have trouble. But it's, typically a lot of new actors will just go in for Walla.
Oh, okay. It's really interesting when I started looking at casting calls, being paid for lines and how much it costs. Like, some lines people would pay you like $15 for just to say in a game or something. Right. Did you have any weird lines that you had to say that you were paid for?
Oh man, not that I really can remember. I've had to do creature noises, which are always odd.
Yeah, can you tell me a story?
So this wasn't really for a project, but I was doing a demo reel with somebody, and they were like, what else can you do? And I was like, I can make raptor noises. And they were like, raptor noises? And I'm like, and it ended up going in that demo. But it's apparently people make a lot of money doing that. I took a class on it actually with somebody who works on World of Warcraft, and they were talking about what it takes to be a creature voiceover artist.
Oh my god, there's a niche for that, huh? Making like weird animal sounds.
There is for like games, you know, you have like orcs. You know, World of Warcraft has those like little fish monsters. Those are all people.
Oh, I thought they were like, you know, they like banged like a metal trash can or something, or did some like sampling. Those are all people making those noises?
Yeah, for like the creature noise. Now, like, you know, it's the sound effects, that's Foley. And yeah, they'll do stuff like that. That's like a punch is a two stakes on a stick hitting each other. They'll do that to kind of make that meaty slap. That's Foley art. But yeah, for like a creature, a lot of the times it's a person.
That's really cool. So here's another question to throw at you. What are some hurdles or bad experiences you had to overcome as a voice actor?
So there's I'll go over the standard one and then one that's a little more personal to me. So a standard one really is kind of finding your way into, like, you know, the casting calls and such. You know, like there's a lot of internet ones that are, you know, just as good, but like, you know, if you want to be in like an animation dub or like a more professional project that's like, you know, a professional game that's like a big deal, you have to like prove yourself in various ways and like network, and it's just a very big hurdle, and it seems very daunting at times. Like the best advice I can give there is take a lot of classes. You'll meet directors, you'll meet other actors, you'll make friends, you'll work on projects together, and then, you know, it just sort of happens one day. And then the personal experience, bad experience I had just a lot of negative people in my life who, you know, either used me or, you know, made me feel like I wasn't as talented. And it took a lot of time to really get past that. You know, like the reason I got back into it was a particular project, and, you know, they just made me feel like I was just I didn't have any talent, and there was the only place I was going to get any work, and it was just very disheartening. So it took a lot to break out of that way of thinking.
I'm proud of you, man. Congratulations. So this isn't part of the questions list, but I am curious, if you had the opportunity to choose between voicing in an anime or a video game, what would you choose? And let's say they both paid the same.
So I'm more of an anime person, so I'm probably going to lean toward that. There are a few video games I would love to be in, but I'm very much kind of a anime person. I think that really deals with, like, I like story above all else. Gameplay is kind of like it's nice, but like, you know, to tell a story, you know, it can really be anything. That's kind of why I'm doing this.
VTubing, you mean, right? Or
yeah.
Voice acting.
Voice acting, VTubing, whatever. It's all kind of the same to me. You know, you play a role and you tell a story.
As you know, this is going to be a 2-part series where I'm going to raffle off some positions and we're going to run some scripts. And the whole point of this series is to not get people into voice acting, but really to teach people like how to love their voices and start that journey. Right.
Which is something I have trouble with at times. You know, I mean, I'm listening to my voice right now and I'm just like, man, I sound like this scared little child.
I'm thinking, man, who's the sexy beast I'm talking to, huh?
Oh,
All right.
behave.
All right, so this goes to our next question, the last one, all right? Any advice for those struggling to love their voice and the steps to take to appreciate it?
I think that it's... So I haven't really found the exact way to do it, since I struggle with it too, but I can give some ways that I've been able to kind of head in that direction.
Mm-hmm.
So I would say the more you work with your voice, the more lessons you learn, the more you take in, the more you kind of learn what you can do. You know, the more you sing, the more you do things, you kind of learn that that's you, and that's a big part of the journey, I think. It sounds kind of nebulous and like, oh, that doesn't tell me anything, but I feel like you have to get more familiar with your voice. Like, so like when I was younger, I tended to like do that whole like teenager, go down into this register, you know, which is not really where I'm naturally, but I thought my voice was too deep. And the more I've worked with it, I've realized that I'm more comfortable in the higher mid range. So it's just sort of discovering your voice in a way that you never really thought of, because like everybody has that moment where they hear themselves on a recording and still cringe. Like you just don't hear your voice enough. So like when you're talking, you hear a different voice than what the recording picks up. So I feel like, again, it's just getting more familiar with your voice and learning what you can do and being proud of what you can do.
I remember in our comments section when we released this training camp ARC idea, right? The voice acting workshop.
Yep.
One person in particular mentioned how they have a nasally voice, and I believe you said that you also are dealing with that problem, or working around it. What advice do you have for anyone who's watching this who has some more nasally or mucus tone in their voice?
So I don't even know if my voice is coming out nasal right now, but like I took a singing class, which as you learn to kind of control your breath and like how it hits your vocal cords and stuff like that, you kind of learn how to place your voice differently. There's also clearing out your nasal passages with saline water. But like really it's the singing lessons that will help you kind of tune your voice a little bit. Like you'll unlock like a little bit of more range as you kind of learn to sing. And you know, you don't have to go out there belting like Celine Dion or something, but you know, you just learn a little bit like tongue placement and how to like shift your voice a little bit. It's really kind of a great idea if you want to do more voiceover, to look into singing at least a little bit.
Gotcha. All right, this leads to our next activity, which is warming up, and then we're gonna do some lines together, or reads.
All right. You
gave me a video that you personally use, correct?
Yes, I actually, a friend of mine just gave me this one, and it's really good. Like I felt like very good about this one, because it made me feel more in control of my voice afterward.
Personally, how long does it take you to warm up, and how long do you recommend a beginner takes warming up?
I would say I don't recommend doing more than 30 minutes if you can help it.
Mm-hmm.
You probably should strive for that a little bit. It really depends on how you're feeling that day. You kind of have to figure out what your voice is doing that day. You can kind of feel it after a while.
Let's begin. I'm going to link the video in the description below, by the way, for those watching.
Something else you shouldn't eat or drink is anything made of dairy. Ooh, I know. This one gets to me too. That means no ice cream.
Really produces mucus, so it's kind of not a great idea to have before.
So no dairy, no coffee or tea that has caffeine in it, right?
Yeah, herbal tea's fine though.
Gotcha.
But then again, like, I know people who drink, so like, it's gonna say smoking next, and I can guarantee you, I know smokers, people who drink tons of caffeine, myself, and then I mean, just dairy's kind of an interesting one because, like, you can't really have it
Strenuous exercise. Strenuous exercise gets the blood pumping and is good for overall health, but it makes the voice sound unnatural. If you don't believe me, just take a listen at this guy, or her, or him. Something else you shouldn't do at least 3 hours before a performance is smoke. Really, you shouldn't smoke.
At least Arnold Schwarzenegger is kind of the, it's the accent.
Yeah. So you're telling me if I work out before I do some voice acting, I'm going to turn into Arnold?
This video seems to claim it. I think it's just because, like, the way you're... I've worked out and I felt like my throat kind of sore afterward. If I am just winded, that might be part of it. So it's just putting more strain on it. I mean, don't quote me on this, but that's what I imagine.
Gotcha.
And now they're saying no smoking, and, like, I can think of, like, 3 big name actors, voice actors who all smoke like chimneys, or one did.
Do you wanna make this a call out post? You want to shout them out?
No, I'm not going to. I would like to have my career.
They don't know your anime form. It's all good.
No, but if you go to an anime con, you will usually find voice actors smoking outside. Or you did back in the before times when we had anime cons.
I don't even know what anime is anymore. How to become my own anime.
I think it's a Pokemon.
It's those cartoons, right?
Yeah, like Avatar and Cory in the House.
Oh, I love Cory in the House. And Caillou.
Oh, man.
That's the One Punch Man, right?
That is the One Punch Man.
Oh.
Now,
you probably shouldn't smack yourself in the face.
Full body stretches, because voice acting is a full body.
Definitely. I'll try and keep that in mind. Almost had to do it to myself. How does this help?
Put it down. Now give yourself
so it's essentially kind of opening up your body and getting it more.
Does that stretch the back.
So this is all about kind of loosening up, because what a lot of people don't really realize about voiceover, it is more physical than it appears. Like if you watch some of those Disney behind the scenes things from, like, the 2D era, every actor you see with a script is doing some sort of physical motion. And, like, believe it or not, that lends itself to the voice more. It's very much like, they say you can hear it. Like, I've heard, like, can you make your voice sound more smiley? So, like, there are things that we do with our bodies that kind of register in how we deliver a line.
So do you have an example personally that you do?
So I've had booth gigs where like I'll do bad where I'm too stiff, but then when I start talking with my hands, there's just something that happens where I just feel like more emotive. So like, you know, don't do that or don't do that. So yeah, this
Now
is
time
pretty
to get into proper
self-explanatory.
position. Some actors like
Why does us doing the neck stretches help?
So it helps loosen like the neck muscles and the jaw, which, you know, obviously you want loose for articulation and, you know, just speaking in general. You know, this is all about the diaphragm is an important thing because you want to have as much breath as you can. One of my pitfalls is I had a point where I wasn't breathing through my nostrils well, so like I would run out of breath on certain lines. And it might just be a stress thing as well. But you know, like you want to like learn to breathe through your diaphragm more, so you have more control of your breath, and you're able to do those kick-ass yells people want to do.
Like the Dragon Ball Z type of yells?
Yeah, that's all about ramping up. But there are some people who can do it for like 2 minutes.
Is that like if you're gonna be like a shonen protagonist or a shonen voice actor, is that the magic number you need to try and hit? 2 minutes?
Don't quote me, but I think it's something like that, yeah, because you have to learn how to really do it. One thing I did hear from like some of the DBZ people once, you know, like I don't know them personally, but I've been in classes where they taught, and one of the secrets you'll learn is like they didn't know what to like yell in fights. So they'll like look around the room and try to yell something like, you know, like paper! Chair! You know, paper and chair. Stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounded weird, but like, you know, it's like they've told me they start yelling like things they see to kind of make it like attack noises.
Really?
Yeah.
So they keep yelling out these random things, and then if the director likes it, it becomes the standard, right?
Sometimes, yeah. I mean, like, you know, because they have to like make it sound different each time. You can't do a kya, huh, huh, ha. You have to do it so many times, and you have to find variety each time.
So in the voice acting animes or dubs, right? You can't like reuse the same lines or the same noises.
I've never really encountered that happening. I've never really had that told to me one way or another. To my knowledge, they really don't do that. But, you know, there are some things where it's like the same thing over and over.
Yeah, definitely.
Now close your mouth and puff your cheeks out. Now grit your teeth and give me a good growling sneer. Peel your lips back as far as they will go. There you go.
This is all about
you remember your vowels?
loosening up the lips. So, you know, like obviously you're just making it easier to like get your mouth around certain words and syllables and such. It's hard to really comment on this video because it does a really good job of like telling you why you do these things.
The whole loosening the lips thing is like really strange to me. I don't really like feel my lips like, you know, being really involved when I'm reading lines. How do you like explain it to someone like me how this really helps?
So, trying to think of a good example. So like occasionally, like when you're reading longer lines, you'll stumble over words. And it might be because you're just not reading well, but it also might be because your lips are just not articulating things as clearly or just not moving quick enough. That's the way I've always made it work in my mind, but you know, everybody's different.
So if people like okay. I think I'm starting to get it. This is why those singing lessons could really like help too, right?
Exactly, because you're learning one of the parts of singing that, so like the difference between like voice acting and singing I've heard is with singing you're trying to get everything out on as few breaths as possible, so like you're holding your breath as you're singing, but like with voice acting you can stop. So I am going to pull up an anime speech.
Oh, okay. You're going to link it to me? I can share it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, cool.
Doing this off the cuff.
Hey, that's all we do, we VTubers.
Yeah, it's I believe the term is called cold reading. It's where you're reading something for the first time or with no preparation.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot of professional gigs are like that. So you'll just get a script. It will tell you about your character, like a few things, and you have 15 minutes. Go.
Jeez.
You know, trying to do this on one breath. My bro is gone, but he's right here. I'm on my back. And in my heart, he lives as a part of me. If you're gonna dig to the heavens. No matter what's in the way, I won't stop. Once I've dug through. And that's about as far as I can get on one breath.
Oh my god. You know what's funny? That's actually my favorite speech. I wanted to play that speech as an example.
Oh yeah, it's one of mine too. I love Gurren.
The English dub for it was really good. Really, really good.
Yep. It's very good.
But yeah, you were saying? Sorry, I cut you off.
So like, if you're gonna do this like voiceover and not like what I just did, which was terrible, you like pick where you want to breathe. So like, it's learning how to like make choices. I'm rambling, but my bro is gone. He's right there on my back. And in my heart, he lives on as a part of me. If you're gonna dig to the heavens. No matter what's in my way, I won't stop. Once I've dug through, it means that I've won. Just who do you think I am? Learning how to pause and get through that with loose lips is how you do it.
The secret's out there, folks. How to be a voice actor.
Yeah, I feel like I'm not doing it justice, but this is how I see it at least.
Well, if Yuri Lowenthal ever comes here, hopefully he still got the chops to give it justice.
Yeah. Much better than my to take right there.
Oh man. What about that speech do you like the most for you when you first watched it?
So like when I first watched it, I was in a very different headspace because I had an experienced loss like he did. So I was just very heartbroken about Kamina. the way that speech hit me the first time, like the most, was after I lost my father. And it finally I understood that loss, and picking yourself up after that, and you kind of learn how to just go on, and sometimes go on feeling terrible, but you have to. And it's just that drive that I really love about that speech.
Yeah, you were saying?
So it's all about learning to do these things with a lot of effort, so then when you have to do them, you can do them effortlessly.
Oh my god, when I was breathing in, I was like, I don't think I could fit more air in my lungs. Jeez.
Yeah, exactly. And when you are just doing it naturally, it's easier.
Oh my god. I felt like Iroh for a second in Avatar. Oh god.
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember what's after this, because I always just stop after breathing. Like, I usually go to tongue twisters, but I think we're pretty good because we've just been talking a lot. So I feel pretty loose. Are you?
Honestly, I can't even tell if I'm loose or not. I don't know what to look out for.
Well, okay, I'm going to send you like one tongue twister and we'll see. How can a clam cram in a clean cream can?
All right, and I need to do this in one go?
Yep, if you can do it in one go, you're probably good.
All right. How can a clam cram in a clean Jesus.
Yep. It's hard.
Okay. How can a clam cram in a clean cream can? Did I get it?
Yeah, you got it.
Okay.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Like, you will stumble over words, and just doing this over and over and over helps.
How many?
I think when I was in theater, I don't remember exactly how it was explained to me, but this was the gist. You learn to do things like, you do things over and over and over with effort, so then you can appear to do it effortlessly.
Oh. I'll subtitle that part.
Yeah. So that's kind of what you're doing with all these workouts and warm-ups. You're like learning to do these harder things, so then when you're actually doing your script, you do it effortlessly.
How many times do you do tongue twisters? Do you do different tongue twisters, or you just choose one and you just read it?
I do different ones. There's a lot of them, like different tongue twisters mess with different words and sounds. So you're sort of trying to get everything loose and ready to go. Like, if I had a professional job, I'd just like shoot through a bunch of these just to try to get me as like fluid as possible, because when you're in the booth in like a professional setting, you have to do things fairly quickly. Actually, here's a horror story. One of my first times in a booth, I was very nervous, and I had a line which I had to stress a certain word, but I couldn't stress the word they wanted. I kept stressing another word, and they said, okay, don't stress that word, stress this word. So it was like, I was saying it, don't stress this word. They wanted it to be, don't stress this word. But I kept doing this. Don't stress this word, when they wanted it to be stressed somewhere else. And I didn't know how to handle it. And I spent like maybe 5 minutes trying to correct it. And finally they were just like, we got to move on.
Jeez.
And it's, they were just like, okay, you just won't do this It probably didn't hurt my chances since I've worked after then, but they want people who can kind of perform under pressure and do the things they need to. So that's sort of what you're trying to get to. It's not like, if you say like you mess up once, you'll never work in this town again. It's more, they need to have somebody who can like get the product done as quickly as possible.
Quickly and good as possible, right?
Yep, correct.
Gotcha.
Though sometimes I've heard sometimes it's like, well, that's good enough.
Right. Do you have a problem with that? Do you feel like the industry should have more quality than like, oh, we just got the line, it's good enough, let's go? What do you think?
I think that a lot of the time it's not quite as like they just drop it, it's good enough. I think it's usually they have to meet the deadlines, and it's not just somebody says, okay, whatever, it's good enough. It's more, it has to get to the proofers, it has to get to the disc mastering, it has to get to marketing, it has to get to shelves by a certain point. Otherwise, the boss man won't be happy. And the boss man can be anybody from the head of the company to the Japanese originators. They want it out by a certain time. It could be anything. So it's really just people trying to get the best product out that they can. And sometimes sometimes it might just not be the best thing, but art is never really the best thing. It's just getting it out there at a certain point, because at a certain point you're just treading over the same ground and it won't get any better, so you just have to kind of put it out there.
Okay. Interesting.
You create art, you don't strive for perfection, because you'll never reach perfection. You ask any artist what's wrong with their piece, and I guarantee you they can point to like 3 different places where they feel that they could do a better job. And no one else will notice.
That was insanely deep. I was not ready for that right now. Oh,
yeah.
Man. I was just trying to figure out like how many times you do tongue twisters, and you told me like this prophetic thing, man.
I try.
All right, but for the record, for those watching, how many times do you do tongue twisters? Do you have like a recommendation, or you just do it until it feels right?
I would say do at least like 2 or 3. That's probably a good amount. If you're really feeling kind of like you can't get through them, just keep doing it slowly and then speed it up as you do it well. But you never should really do it to a point where it's just not working. If one isn't working, try another. It's all about just learning how to roll.
All right. Speaking of rolling, are we gonna roll into that script?
Yep.
I want to watch the video together with you. That way, because in the script we don't have any emotions written down. Like relief, anger, deep breath here. So we're gonna have to like roll with it, I guess. So let me show you the video. Did you watch the video on your own?
Yes, I did actually.
All right. Do you like Persona 5? Or you seen it before?
Oh, I love Persona. I haven't played Royal yet, but I beat Persona 5, and it's awesome.
What's the strategy for me to like pick this apart and do? Or should I just cold read?
Let's start off with a cold read. Let's see how you do, and then I'll give you some like notes that I noticed.
You're going to be Akira, right?
Yep.
So I'm going to start with By the Way, and we'll go down to I'll help you with whatever I need and stop there.
Okay. Yeah.
All right. Ooh, this is gonna be tough. All right. Okay. You want to cue me in? Like 3, 2, 1.
Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1.
By the way, the track team's up and running again. Yamauchi got taken down pretty quick. You know Takeishi's mom is the PTA pres, right? He told her everything. After that, she came storming in with the other parents and forbid the whole scouting plan. Wish I could have seen the look on Yamauchi's face. I mean, the school can't ignore the PTA, and as a result, the track team's back. Our old coach is filling in for now. Man, it serves that dick right. What a great feeling. I think they might even go far in the meet.
Awesome to hear. I'm looking forward to it.
Hell yeah. Oh crap, the ramen's getting soggy. Let's eat. That was awesome.
What's wrong?
Tell the truth, I was afraid of facing those guys straight up. I couldn't stand how much they hate me. It only just made me think of how stupid I was. Most of all, it made me remember how I lost my place with them. Hey, this ain't like me, but I managed to change because you two were helping me. I got you wrapped up in this shit, but you stayed with me till the bitter end. You didn't abandon me, so thanks.
Well, we couldn't do it all alone. It's all because of what you do, too.
It's funny, huh? This started out as us training for the Phantom Thieves. How did it end up like this? Either way, it's my turn now. If anything comes up, you tell me. I'll help you with whatever you need.
Okay, wow, that's pretty good. So, I feel like you're almost holding back a little bit.
Well, which part?
Well, like, so in the beginning, I don't want to give you a line read or anything, but like it feels like he's telling like a funny story. That might be not your interpretation, but it feels like, you know, it's more you're excited, and you need to find places where you're kind of like, I think they're called like turns, where like you kind of switch to like a different emotion naturally, you know, like it's sort of like at the beginning of this scene, he seems like he's just hanging out with one of the guys, and then he lets his hair down and is just opening up this part of himself. And I feel like you got that, but you need to like, it was almost like you were just holding back because you felt like it wouldn't be natural to go a little further. Like, I'm not saying you need to like go exaggerated, but I feel like, you know, it's okay to like bring a little like excitement to the first line, and, you know, like really slow down and feel parts of the later emotional stuff.
Okay, got it. All right, so I think what I could do is I could get excited for the first part and then take a breath and like readjust myself for the heavy stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And like, I wouldn't like just rush through it. Just, you know, like take it like, you know, you're telling a funny story to like your best friend. Like, this is the funniest shit you've ever heard. You know, like it sounds like you're just having a great time. You can't believe it. You know, like you're just, you know, this is kind of one of the funnest things you've ever experienced. And
Gotcha.
Then, you know, and then you're like, oh shit, I should eat. Because that's kind of what it is. It's like you get so into like your story, and then you look down and you see, oh man, my ramen's getting cold.
Got it. All right.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay. Cue me in. I'm about to get into it.
All right. 1, 2, 3.
By the way, the track team's up and running again. Yamauchi got taken down pretty quick. You know Takeshi's mom is the PTA pres, right? He told her everything. After that, she came storming in with the other parents and forbid the whole scouting plan. Wish I could have seen the look on Yamauchi's face. I mean, the school can't ignore the PTA, and as a result, the track team's back. Our old coach is filling in for now. Man, it serves that dick right. What a great feeling. I think they might even go far in the meet.
Awesome to hear. I'm looking forward to it.
Hell yeah. Oh, crap. Our ramen's getting soggy. Let's eat. Was that better?
Yeah, so if you could make it flow a bit better, that would be great. But yeah, you really had it. You could even go a little further, just a tad maybe. But I think that's really good. I would also like the aw crap. Deliver it like you just saw, like you just realized you forgot your homework and class is just about to begin. Sort of like, oh man.
Oh yeah, and give that little space, right? Instead of like going through with it.
Yeah, it's like, you deliver the line and then suddenly head slap, you just realize something.
Okay, got it.
And then, and then, the let's eat is sort of, let's get with it. Let's go.
I never realized how hard it is to say Japanese names. like completely
yes.
like it's
yes.
natural. Oh my god.
Yes, it is very tricky at first. The only thing I can recommend is there's only certain sounds in their alphabet. But even then, the pronunciation changes. 3, 2, 1.
By the way, the track team's up and running again. Yamauchi got taken down pretty quick. You know, Takeshi's mom is the PTA pres, right? He told her everything. After that, she came storming in with the other parents and forbid the whole scouting plan. Wish I could have seen the look on Yamauchi's face. I mean, the school can't ignore the PTA, and as a result, the track team's back. Our old coach is filling in for now. Man, it serves that dick right. What a great feeling. I think they might even go far in the meet.
Awesome to hear. I'm looking forward to it.
Hell yeah. Oh, crap. The ramen's getting let me redo that part.
Yeah, no problem.
Hell yeah. Oh, crap. The ramen's gonna get soggy. Let's eat.
That was great.
It was?
That was really good, actually. Like, there were some parts you could touch up, but, like, I think you really nailed it that time.
Oh, thanks. Well, what parts do you recommend I would touch up?
Just smooth it out a little bit more, like, get your pronunciation right, just make it more conversational in places, like, but you got the energy down, I feel like you've pretty much got it. You just should, like, I mean, maybe it's just picky at this point, but, like, I feel like you've got the energy, and that's the most important thing here. You might just find places where you can, like, change it up a little bit, but other than that, you're good. And that's just learning instincts.
Thanks. That means a lot, dude.
Yeah.
All right. I feel like other people, when they join the voice acting training camp and they see me doing this, because and everybody who joins know, I have like no background in anything, right? I'm literally starting from scratch. So
this is like you presenting what can be done.
Not just that, but presenting that, I'm not the confident guy in the room. You know what I mean? I'm just trying to like show that, and I hate hearing myself too. but I'm going through with it, so I know the people who come here and the people who are watching the video, if I can do it and you guys sound better than me or you're more talented than me, then you can do it too, type of thing, you know?
I'm gonna tell you a trade secret.
Yeah.
You're literally most voice actors I know. Like literally most I know hate their voice, don't think they're good enough, struggle with things like that. And these are like pros. These are people like in shows as characters. These are like working actors. Like that's common. Nobody really thinks they're good enough. And really you are. And the other thing is like there's this whole myth of talent, like you're born with it. And some very few are, but like most people work for it. It's not something you're born with. 3, 2, 1, action.
Tell the truth. I was scared of facing those guys straight up. I couldn't stand how much they hate me. It only just made me think of how stupid I was. Most of all, it made me remember how I lost my place with them. Hey, this isn't like me, but I managed to change because you two were helping me. I got you wrapped up in this shit, but you both stayed with me till the bitter end. You didn't abandon me, so thanks.
Well, we couldn't do it all alone. It's all because of you too.
It's funny, huh? This all started out as us training for the Phantom Thieves. How'd it end up like this? Either way, it's my turn now. If anything comes up, you tell me, and I'll help you with whatever you need.
Yeah. So I'm gonna surprise you. I think you nailed that part.
Oh, did I?
Like, I feel like you did. You know, like some people might go like, you're laughing, but I felt like your nervous laughter really kind of lended into you know, this not being comfortable for you. There are people like that. Like, you know, like I noticed you throw them in with like, it only just made me think of how stupid I was, you know, like it's kind of like I do when I self-deprecate myself and I make the little laugh. People do that. And like, I really felt that part. I really did. Other than like the very last part, you could clean up a little, you know, just like make it flow a little bit better. But other than that, I feel like you've got this. It's just finding those moments and places to add a little color.
Definitely. Oh man. Almost I had to tap into like some really like kind of dark or tough memories for that one, Chief.
Yep.
Not gonna lie.
Yep. And that's why it came off so genuine. I could feel it.
So that was the end of the first voice training arc episode with VHSASHLEY. I'll be hosting the second episode on stream, but this time I'll be joined by other guests who will be voice acting with me. Big thank you to VHSASHLEY for coming on. All their socials are in the description below. Check them out and subscribe to my YouTube channel for other monkey-brained antics I'm going to do. See ya.